Put your players union president cap on for a moment. I've got a couple of questions for you, or one question. We've got a first year, a second year, and a third year player all requesting to be traded, some in contract, some out of contract. But the fact of the matter is, Horne-Francis is a first year player. And then you've got Bruin and Henry, who are both in the early stages of their careers, second and third years, respectively, I believe. Do you think we are going to see, because a lot this is upsetting the fans of the clubs that the guys are from and wanting to depart? Do you think this is going to make clubs want to push harder for a relaxed or a release on the consent of players trading? So being able to trade someone effectively without their consent.
It's not going to happen. The players don't.
It's not going to happen soon, now, or ever.
Probably ever. Oh. Certainly. Yeah, no. From my view, as current president, not while I'm involved, and I don't think while our current board, they'll be the same, because your players don't earn enough to be shipped off to the other side of the country without their consent.
Well, can I put this to you then? What if it was, because the clubs and the people we've spoken to at Trade Radio, list managers and those types, so, the players have got probably the lion's share of leverage. And I think it's always been like that. It's like that in most sports, but at the moment, there's just this wrestle. What about if it was stipulated that if you're on north of, say, 500K and you had 2 or more years to go on your contract because you had some security and you're a highly paid player, could you see it happen then, or are you still steadfast on the fact that it won't happen?
No, it's the opposite, because what you'd get, you'd have players that would have a no trade clause like we see in the NBA that you would sign. So typically, the players that get that deal are the better players in the competition, because they have the leverage to say, well, I want X and a no trade clause. The only way you could potentially see it working is if there was and this is agreed upon sort of percentage of what's the percentage for it to be a trade clause, or without your consent clause.
Yeah.
So is that a 20% added extra? Is it 25?
Yeah.
But that's going to be for a player generally that's on south of 500. So for a player south of, say, the average wage, what is it, minimum? So sort of between, early threes, 350.
350, yeah.
Yeah. So say above average wage, say 400,000, a player that you're looking at, all right, we want to acquire this player, but we want the ability to trade him without his consent. The kicker is going to be the 25% extra. All of a sudden now we're paying him 500. It's not what you sort of want to do for those players that are that sort of below average range. You want the flexibility, but the only way you'd ever agree upon it is if you had a kicker of, and this was the player I'm talking about, well, yeah, I'll have the trade clause where you can move me, but it's going to cost you 25% extra per annum. It's got to be worth my while.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I just thought I'd ask.
So no, I don't think it comes in. I mean, clubs will always complain until it's the player coming to their club, and then they're fine about it. So these things, all it does do, I think, is promote clubs to provide a really strong environment that's really enjoyable to be around. And I think that's a good thing for the competition.